tired. I had a busy day, a great day, but a busy day. I like going live after a long day at the office. You guys keep me company, keep me awake till I get home. It's not that long a drive, but I'm exhausted. Had a really good day though. I love my job. I love my job. I've never, not never. I loved doing breakfast radio, but I haven't had a job since then that I'm just like, oh my God, I love my job, but I love my job. Emery, hello, beautiful. What's news from you guys in lockdown? I had such a busy day, I haven't been able to check the news. In fact, the header of my live is about a case I wanted to talk about a week ago. Hello, Red Lotus. Oh no, it was a great day. It was just really busy, which is good because we're a community legal service. So if we're busy, it means we've helped a lot of people. So it's really rewarding. But I'm just a bit knackeroonied. Mondays are always a bit exhausting, I think, anyway. Especially like I'm only part time, so I've just had like 5 days off. So going back to work on Monday is a bit of a culture shock. It's like, oh shit, I've actually got people to speak to and give advice to, and so no, it was a busy day, but not a bad day, and it didn't drag. It wasn't like a long. Like if I say I've had a long day, it's like a day that just drags. I don't think I'm ever going to have a day like that in this job. It's such rewarding work. I know we're in the future, Red Lotus. Monday's all right. Although I don't actually know. Did anything? Oh, 1568 today, Emery. Oh, shit. So that's not good news. Oh, my God. Hang in there, beautiful. Hey, at least I'll show you some Tasmanian traffic for you to see what you're not missing in the outside. I know that you actually get to leave home, but for anyone who is in lockdown in Melbourne, Victoria, if this live and peak hour traffic at the end of a working day makes you realise you're really not missing out on anything, well, then I've done my job for the day. But yeah, I haven't checked any news services or anything. I love being flat out. But even in my lunch break, when I'd normally check some media outlets to see what's been going on, hello, Punky Banana, great name. It is, especially on the left, that's St. David's Cathedral, and it's stunning. And then on the right, the other older building, well, there's two. There's the one that's been painted black, which is so sexy. But the one just here on the right with the red awnings, that's Hadley's Hotel. It's one of the oldest hotels in Tasmania, and it's considered a bit of a historical, but we've got like the Law Society coming up on the right, and on this side, the sandstone building we're looking at now, that's the Treasury building. They're all beautiful sandstone buildings. Hey, Aussie as fuck! How you doing, Groover? Thought I might, unless chat guides me in another direction. It's not a case yet, but there's something that happened in Australia a week ago that I've been itching to talk about. But I don't know. Life got in the way of me me doing it on a live, but it's kind of cracking me up a bit. Oh my God, I just cracked a yolk unintentionally, but it's perfect for what I'm going to talk about. Oh God, bus time for Butthead. Don't forget, chatters, to shout at me. I love it. I love it when you yell at me. Use capitals, please, and also short sentences because I can't read much while I'm driving. Actually, Punky Banana, since you like the architecture coming up, well, right now we're near a hotel, but the Hobart Gas Company, this little building here on the right, it's the original gas works. And then some fuckers put in a Hog's Breath cafe, which I've never been in it. I'm allergic to pork, so I don't really want to go in it. But also, I can't stand their marketing emblazoned over that beautiful building. But anyway, I'm sure at least it's nice inside. I hope you do visit one day, Punky Banana. So the story that I wanted to talk about a week ago in Australia that is quacking me up. Hey Michelle P, how you doing, Groover? In Australia we have COVID's ruining all kinds of travel. Although international travel in and out of Australia could happen before the end of the year. Well, depending on how Melbourne goes, but at the very least, I'd love them to open up the Tasmania, New Zealand travel bubble again because that was kind of cool. Friends of mine from New Zealand who were able to fly back here. They're both from Tassie originally, but now they live in New Zealand. But they were able to come back, and the absolute joy of actually being in the presence of people who live overseas, same as when my sister-in-law and niece came home. It's the best. Like, it's as fucked up as COVID is, so many good things have come from it too. And seeing the faces of people you love who live in another country with all the travel restrictions is just the best thing ever. November the 12th. Oh God, one of my subscribers and buddies on YouTube, Finn Bugden, who I haven't done anything with him for ages actually. I really want to because he's so into stuff, and I find chatting with him really interesting. Like, he's this young, fired up kiddo, really. Super smart. But he sent me a link to a parody site that has they've clipped interviews of ScoMo, Scott Morrison, our Prime Minister, for those of you outside of Australia. Yes, we have a leader called Scott. And they clipped it with questions from Lee Sales and made it look like a legitimate interview. It's fucking hilarious. I'll post it in my community post. It's so funny. I love all the sort of piss-takey parody channels, like, the misheard song lyrics is a classic. I love the bad lip reading. And I love channels that clip things together one of my favourite bad lip readings is the Mark Zuckerberg one. Oh, my God. Too funny. But anyway, in Australia, we have a supermarket chain called Coles, but it's not Kohls, Coles, it's Coles. And last week, ScoMo, also known as Wankstein, and also known as Scotty from marketing, we don't get shot for making fun of our Prime Ministers, thank fuck. Scotty from marketing, ScoMo, Wankstein, Twat Muffin, all kinds of things he gets called. Some of them almost too rude for me to say on this well-behaved channel of mine. Serenity B, hello, beautiful. So anyway, this Australian last week got mighty upset. This is because I'm a lawyer. I like to find silly cases. I've really got to crank up my true crime podcast again. I miss talking about all of the really, sounds weird, but funny crimes from around the world. But my form of entertainment is to look for the really funny lawsuits. And we're not a litigious country, but I don't know if this is going to turn into a lawsuit. I don't think it can, but Coles Supermarket have said that they have referred the matter, this cracked me up more than anything, to the National Supermarket Spece Department. I was like, what the fuck is that? There's a department in Australia called the National Supermarket Space Department. And we're not talking outer space. We're talking the literal spaces in a supermarket. It's like the Ministry of Silly Walks, Monty Python. I mean, why does this department even exist? But anyway, it does. And the reason it's been referred to them is because a vegan, yeah, it's already a great story when you start with the word vegan, claims she was tricked into buying actual chicken because there were actual chicken nuggets in the supermarket sitting right next to the vegan version of a chicken nugget, which is probably called, I can't believe it's not chicken. This chick lost her shit. I'm not yoking. She's accused Coles Supermarket of not being empathetic and wanting to save the planet because there was a box of actual chicken nuggets sitting next to a box of, I can't believe it's not chicken nuggets, and she was tricked into buying actual chicken. Can't vegans read? Like, it's the nugget section of the supermarket, and this is why the the National Supermarket Space Department is involved, because Coles's response was how much they're increasing their plant-based products. But getting products onto shelves is a space issue, and they follow national directives where at the moment you're required to put products of a similar nature in the same space, which is what they did. But clearly the National Supermarket Space Department needs to put out a directive that all plant-based products are put in their own fucking area because vegans can't read. And the nasty supermarkets are tricking them into eating a real chicken nugget because the supermarkets lack empathy and don't want to save the planet. Joe Wilson, g'day. Hey, new friend. New friend? Oh, you're one of my OG subs, Joe the Veg. What are you talking about? Exactly, Serenity Bee. Like, can't vegans read? I mean, all the plant-based foods have got the same branding, and plant-based food is the biggest thing you see on the box. And good on them for doing that. And they're increasing their... Why have I got an alarm going off at 5:30 p.m. on a Monday afternoon? Have I forgotten to do an alarm? What the frig? I can't dismiss it or snooze it either. I can't touch my phone. I hope you guys can't hear my little alarm tune. Thankfully, it's not blocking chat. I think they turn off eventually. They give up. 5:30 p.m. Yeah, so can't vegans read? Like, I understand they don't have a lot of energy, so if you invite them to something, don't do the speeches for at least 2 hours after your event started, because if you do, they're still walking somewhere going, "We're coming, wait for us." But I didn't think they couldn't read. And she cracked the shits, and Coles were like, "Well, at the moment we're just following the National Supermarket Space Department's directives. Fuck, just build them their own supermarket and be done with it. You crazy bint." So yeah, that was my That's the case I've been following. I don't think she's going to sue, but I'm keen to see what the National Supermarket Space Department, the NSSD, what they come back with. Hey, anyone arriving? Good to see you. I can't read chat at the moment. I'm cruising down the highway in the wet, wet rain. How bizarre. I will try and read chat in a little while, but please don't think I'm ignoring you. I'm putting my safety and the safety of other road users first. But it's good to have you here. So now I want to investigate more into this National Supermarket Space Department and find out why it's got such a ridiculous name, if they do ever go into space, and if they've ever made any, like if they've ever been, I want to find out the decisions they've had to make based on whiny supermarket customers. And she ate all the nuggets. I hear you, Punky Banana. I reckon she did too. And that's the thing, like, if you did accidentally, purchase some chicken nuggets, right? And then you get home and you look at the box and it says ingredients chicken, wouldn't you just be getting back on your uni cycle and riding back round to the supermarket in your felt shoes to say, this is chicken? And if you didn't, well, you're not a very dedicated vegan, because my vegan nephew scours the ingredients list all the time for some sneaky little egg product, or some other banned vegan product. He reads what's in that there box. But if you did get it home, right, and for some reason you still didn't do your due diligence and you cooked those little fuckers, surely on the first bite you'd be like, oh my God, this food tastes really good. It can't be vegan. I mean, Google if anybody's died from eating a chicken nugget. There might be a case where somebody choked on one, but is it really that bad? And have you been a vegan from birth? Because you've probably eaten a piece of chicken before. Is that why Coles... I can't really read chat. Sorry, guys. Coles is getting rid of the meat department? Really? I didn't hear about that scandal. I think I'm about to go down a massive rabbit warren now that I've heard about the National Supermarket Space Department. Hey, should I do a fundraiser to send myself off to space camp? No one read your box for a while, Ozzy. Oh, another thing too, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I love my friends very much, but if another friend of mine sends me, no, it doesn't bother me that people keep sending it, but there's a little video that went viral, an Australian video with a couple of people sitting on a couch. One of them's doing lines of coke and the other one is smoking and drinking, and they're talking about why they're not getting vaccinated because, they don't trust what's in the vaccines, and that had, as if they're going to put all these unknown dangerous chemicals into their body. And the last line is something about anyone who tells me I should get vaccinated can suck my clit or something along those lines. And it's gone viral, and so many friends have been sending it to me, and it's cracking me up because I actually know one of the comedians in the video, Bev Killick, who's gold. She's so funny. So, yeah, I don't mind if people keep sending it to me. It's just cracking. I'm kind of proud to say, hey, that's my mate Bev. But if you've seen it, it's very funny. I'll play it on my channel soon. Did the vegan expect a beak? I used to look at those websites, gross things people find in stuff they buy at supermarket. I can't do that anymore. There's only so many squash dead rats in a cereal box that one person can handle. Band-aids. Although I used to love it because I loved the ones where people found a ring, and they managed to locate the original, like the owner of it. They used to always make me go, oh, oh, there's a happy ending, even though you found a wedding band in your Smith's crisps. Joe M. Wilson, I can't spell. Well, you can, you just can't use apostrophes from that last sentence. What can't you spell? Yum, I've got a hot chocolate. I made it at work before I left. Our work kitchen has got so many good things in it. I was like, oh, I can have a hot chocolate on the drive home on this brisk 9 degrees Celsius evening. Serenity. Serentity. Serentity. That's a great typo. Oh, yeah, rats and mice found in cereal boxes, and they were always really flat, like they'd been pressed by some kind of machine, probably the cornflake squashing machine, squashing the corn to make a flake. The rats had gone through there too, and the Macy's. Tell you what, though, the people that did find dead critters in their food were royally compensated. I only ever complained once, not complained, but well, I suppose it was a complaint, but wrote to a manufacturer. I'm trying to think what it was, and it was a product I didn't really like, but I kind of thought they needed to know that our household found, and it wasn't anything exciting. It was kind of like the end of a zip tie, like the bit where you put the zip through and where the tie part is. It was just that with the two little bits sticking out the end. What's for Dindin, Serentity? Serentity. It sounds like you're an exotic islander from Papua New Guinea or something. Hello, my name is Serentity. I'm an islander. Um, we're all islanders here in Oswesia. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so we found like the end of a zip tie. But I remember writing to them and saying, "Hey, just so you know, we found this in our food." And we took photos and stuff. And that was back in the day when you had to, this was back when I was at uni, you had to actually go and get your photos processed and pick them up and send it in. So we had to get double copies. So we had a copy as well. But we weren't really expecting any kind of outcome from it. We just thought that they, for, quality control or whatever, needed to know. Fuck, I wish it was something like, let's just say for argument's sake, it was cream corn. Oh, a parma and veggies. I'm coming. No, I'm not, because I'll get stuck in lockdown. Yeah, you have to change your name to Serentity B, and whenever people mispronounce it, you have to go, it's Titty. So let's just say it's cream corn, whatever it was. It was something that, we didn't buy often, wasn't a staple in the pantry, occasionally made an appearance when we were really broke, and wanted to make a toasted sandwich kind of thing, a toasty toaster. And we ended up being sent like 20 crates of the shit. And it was the most disappointing delivery ever. Like, this truck rocked up with a shitload of boxes. We're all uni students. We're all broke as fuck. And we're like, what's this? And it was literally 20 boxes of, fuck, I wish I could remember what it was. It was a soup. It was a soup. It was cream of mushroom soup. Now, we were all very popular at university because we literally took bags of tins of mushroom soup to uni for weeks to get rid of it all and just gave it to other uni students. But yeah, choose who you complain to. Think about what you might be given as a form of compensation, because 20 massive boxes of bloody cream of mushroom soup was a bit of a bummer. Bit of a bummer. It was a bit like when you go to a restaurant and you get served some food and it's off. Like I did one time with my partner who did complain. I'm one of those people at a restaurant, I'm just like, I'm never coming back here. But I ordered a stuffed squid. Fuck knows why, because I do like calamari and chips and shit like that. But, um, salt and pepper squid when it's done well is bloody good, right? But why a stuffed squid appealed to me. But anyway, I ordered it and the squid was off and I had a couple of mouthfuls and went to the bathroom and bathed my guts up. It wasn't nice. But my partner at the time, who was a very serious, well, he wasn't, he was a funny fucker, but he was an anaesthetist and sort of had that aloof doctor vibe about him, pointed it out to the restaurant that, I'd just gone and thrown up because I'd eaten Ningen squid. And the restaurant looked at me and said, feel free to choose anything you want from the menu to have instead. And all I wanted to do was go home because I clearly had some sort of minor but still unpleasant food poisoning issue. I was stuffed with like pine nuts and semi-dried tomatoes and herbs. Hello, Ruth. Damn it, you missed me talking about the vegan who's upset with an Australian supermarket for putting vegan nuggets next to chicken nuggets. She thinks they're evil and they don't have any empathy and they don't care about saving the planet. We're like, no, they just don't care about precious vegan snowflakes right now while they're following the National Supermarket Space Department directive on putting similar items of food in the same part of the supermarket. I'm not yoking, Ruth. It's been quacking me up for a week. But yeah, so this restaurant, like, rather than saying to Stephen, oh, you don't need to pay your bill, dinner's on us, or here's a voucher for you to come back another night, the only thing they offered as compensation for me eating off sweet squid that was kind of slimy and foamy and, well, it was off, right, was to offer me another course. And I just bathed my guts up. So, poor form, restaurant. Just offer to cover our bill for the night and send us on our way with a couple of your best tiramisu, thank you. Funny enough, I do like cream of mushroom soup now, especially homemade. Um, but there were a few years at uni when I could not eat the shit because you literally opened our pantry and there were two shelves just full of cream of mushroom soup. And as broke uni students, yes, you do eat 2-minute noodles endlessly. Although back in my day, they were 3-minute noodles. I don't know what trickery someone came up with to wipe 1 minute off the cooking time, but at uni, they were 3-minute noodles. Yeah, progress. Only 2 minutes to cook them now. But you don't want to, we had a fairly basic repetitive diet just by nature, virtue of the fact that we were broke. But there's only so much cream of mushroom soup you can eat before you want to kick someone in the clacker, there's a point where you're like, I cannot eat another mushroom. It was funny too, when I started practicing law, the salary for a first year lawyer was absolutely abysmal. I had friends who graduated from nursing college who started on 70 grand and they did 3 years study, and we did 5 years study and started on 22,500. And so we still kind of lived a little bit like uni students. I mean, I doubled my income, so I felt wealthy, but It was still a very small wage. We still had to be careful and budget. Um, but sometimes I'd have a little victory with a client and they would give me a thank you gift, like a bottle of Moe champagne, for example. And I'd go home and cook some sort of, still eating like uni students. So, like, maybe I'd cook tuna mornay and rice, which was a bit posher than a lot of the food we ate as students, but it was still uni student food. But we'd have Moe with it. And that champagne never tasted better. Um, or I'd make a spaghetti bolognese and a client would have given me a really beautiful bottle of red wine and I'd whack some in my bolognese and my wine snob friends would be like, oh my God, no, 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 you don't put good wine in a bolognese. And I'm like, au contraire. You, the rule of thumb is you put the wine you can afford to put in a bolognese, and I was given this shit. And tell me it's not the best bolognese you've ever eaten. You like your pea and ham soup? You had some in Spain that was all salt, Ruth. Ooh, Ruth, I only eat it out the tin. You want what? You eat cold soup out of the tin, Joey M. Wilson? What's going on with you? Heat that shit up. Add some milk and, like, decondense it a bit. My cousin Samantha used to eat cold peas out of the tin. That's all she wanted to eat as a kid. Tinned peas. Only soup from the. Oh, you don't make it yourself. Oh, I make a fabulous pea and ham. I don't do it very often, but I get the ham hock and. Mm, 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 mm. The problem with pea and ham for me is it doesn't stay good as long as other soups. Like by day 3, it's sort of wrong. The boys eat all the ham, so you end up just having pea soup. Tell you what's nice on any sort of. Oh, well, if no one else eats it, you don't want to be making some giant pot of it. No, just stick to your tins, Groover. I tell you what's really yummy on top of a veggie-based soup, so like a pea soup. Crumble feta on top and lots of cracked pepper and even a drizzle of lemon juice, and it will elevate that vegetable-based soup. Mainly do it with green soup, so peas, zucchini, broccoli, that kind of thing. Crumble some feta on top and some cracked pepper and a squeeze of lemon juice, and holy shit balls. You'll be thanking me. Ruth used to eat cold tinned tomato. Oh, really? I've never eaten a cold one. Bringing out the. Has everyone got a spanner in my chat? Chair Detective, hello. I've got to do something about that. I think when you've got, 20,000 people watching your chat, it probably is worth having as many wrenches as I've got. I don't know. I have my moments, and you get a wrench, and everybody gets a wrench. I was kind of, for a while there, I took all the wrenches away, and then I'd give the first 6 people that came into my live a wrench. But then I've watched channels with like 200,000 people in chat and no wrenches. I mean, you can't keep up with that. Not that all of them are speaking, but you can't keep up with that kind of. So there's no point having wrenches. Oh, you watched it, Joey? Isn't he cute? He was having the time. That was like a bucket, like not a bucket list, but like the dream of his to get to play on stage with a famous band. And yeah, the Violent Femmes were so good to him as well. Like they loved having him up there. It was definitely a highlight of his life. But I just love that he did it when he was premier, and somebody tweeted and said, "Here's the Tasmanian premier playing guitar on stage with the Violent Femmes in a onesie," and it was like, "Your turn, Dan Andrews," and all these. It went all over Australia to all the other premiers, and they're all like, "Oh yeah, no, can't compete with that." Got to love a man with a guitar. Yeah, he's self-taught too, and drums as well. Taught himself as a kid. It was awesome. You liked it? Yeah, it's cool. He was fun. He was a fun premier, you know. Shit job, but he was he was good for the ride. He made us look very good. I used to like it when I travelled to other states and people would start talking politics at the dinner table, and someone would go, "God, I wish we could get the premier from Tasmania," and they didn't know I was related to him, and I used to feel so proud that people were saying nice things about him. Yeah, well, that's why I mentioned he was self-taught, because I heard you say that Baz is too. Yeah, and the onesie was funny because he would have put it up, like, and done it up, but the only one they had for him, a spare one, was he didn't give a shit. It was pink, but it was a female one, so it was smaller. And when he tried doing it up, it gave him a moose knuckle, so he had to tie the sleeves around his waist. He couldn't actually put the whole thing on, but he would have. Tori can play the recorder and most percussion, well, all percussion instruments, and the keyboard, piano, and the flute. That video is funny as the Titanic. Yeah, he's great, isn't he? I don't know what he's doing. I googled him the other day to see if he's done any new stuff, and he hasn't. Like, I was bummed though because I used to play this tiny little keyboard on stage and the recorder, and then when I discovered the joys of Matt and his comedic stylings, and then he did it on stage, I was like, "Fuck, I can't do it." So it happens a lot in the comedy world. Like you have a joke or a routine that you've been doing for years, and then somebody more well known than you does something similar or even identical, and you have to drop it from your routine because the more experienced comedian, the more famous one is going to be credited with it. And it sucks because there were comedians that did radio shows that used to send people out to watch comedy shows and, you know, pinch jokes of lesser known comedians and then do it on their shows. So people had to um, pull their jokes, and it happened to me. It was awful. That was awful. The trunk? Mama doesn't drink. She's actually messaging me while I'm chatting to you guys. I wish she knew I was live. I'd like her to come on in. Based. You've changed your name. Thank you. Thank you. People can work it out for themselves. You're still putting the word in the head, but thank you for fixing that because I was so conflicted because you're always good value here. You're good fun. But I was live talking about the use of a word that's offensive in Australia, and you were coming into my chat with that previous name, and I was like, this is a conflict for me because how can I be pontificating about another YouTuber using an offensive word, and then I've got a dude in chat with an offensive word in his name? So thank you, man. You did it just for me. Thank you. I drop the mum bit. I'm too young to be your mother. I'm only 21. Oh, there's a rainbow. It's only very pale. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's sort of at 2 o'clock. Oh, you've made further amendments, even better. Now it's kind of cryptic. But thank you. I do appreciate that. I don't mind if you, for some reason, feel connected to that name and word and want to use it in other places, but I do appreciate it being tidied up. Hey, when I first came to YouTube, you'd get stuck with a name for 90 days. So I don't know if anyone remembers. I mean, this is going back a while, but when you named your channel, like, you could only change it twice and then you were stuck with whatever name it was for 90 days. I don't think that's the case anymore because all these trolls keep changing their names and they're being outed, and people are doing the URL check or whatever they do and it's the same person, but they've had like 10 different names based on what channel they're trolling at the time. Because that's what happened to Laura. She changed her channel name to her actual name and was stuck with it for 90 days. Oh yeah, no, I remember. We've offloaded a lot about how they got rid of that go-to channel feature. There is a way you can do it, but it's still not as quick as it used to be, which is the most idiotic decision YouTube made, because the go-to channel thing, I'd be in chat bombing around in there, having a few laughs. Someone would crap me up. I'd go to their channel and subscribe. And the more subscribers channels have got, the more revenue YouTube can make. So why would they remove a feature that was essentially building channels and potentially getting to the point they could be monetized and make money for YouTube? Like, it was a really dumb decision. Brian Reed. I can't believe you brought Brian Reed up the other day. That was a blast from the past. Brian Reed. But yeah, I sent Mel Mel a message telling her I was going to go live on the drive home, and I noticed I got a message from her while I was driving. Well, I'm still driving, but earlier when I was driving. I don't know why she hasn't popped in. I mean, she might have. I can't read chat. We've got a spy in chat. Look out. Dun, 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 dun. That's not the right song. I didn't mention the Mission Impossible. Ooh, a spy. Fuck. Not a spy. God, YouTube's got so serious and boring. Like, what happened to the fun stuff? Like, Mel Mel and I try to make people lighten up and have a laugh, but my God, it's such a warped world. And the absolutes in everything and the extremes in everything. Like, anyone does anything on YouTube and people don't like it, they go to the most extreme thing. Like I talked to the other day about people just getting a fact wrong because they can't remember something. There is a liar. And just the lack of self-awareness and the hypocrisy and the things people get butthurt about, but they do it too. And it's like, do you not know that you do this shit? Oh my God, people just have to lighten the fuck up. Oh yeah, M15 is a spy agency, but Armchair Detective M15 is a very old subscriber. Check out the scenery, guys. Look at the sky and the greenery. Isn't it pretty? Don't look at the roadworks. Look at the surrounds. I'm just watching traffic at the moment, so. But yeah, people are just so humorless. I got addicted to YouTube because of the funny shit. And I've found other funny channels to watch, but he's a spy. Gotcha, yes. He became Brian Reed without warning. But yeah, I mean, I don't I don't understand how so many people on YouTube have lost their sense of humour. Was there like a spaceship that came into the YouTube sphere and sucked all their sense of humour brain cells out? It's just, I've been trying so hard to find the volume of channels that I used to be subscribed to when I first discovered the YouTube live world to match it. But and I have found some funny shit, don't get me wrong, but part of the fun is being in a live with people you know and get to know and build relationships with and start cracking each other up. So it's kind of a lonely existence if you've discovered some channel and I mean, you eventually start to make friends again. But you know what I mean? It's just, I used to just love putting stuff on because I knew I'd crack up. I'd quack up. Like the vegan who nearly bought a chicken nugget because the supermarket Coles blindsided her by putting real chicken nuggets in the same area as the vegan cardboard nuggets. That chick was butthurt, man. The spy music I meant to do was God, I'm glad we've had daylight saving because you can still go for a beach walk when you get home. It's pretty special. And I don't have to cook dinner tonight because I can finally eat crunchy food with my post-dental surgery recovery. So I treated myself to a wood-fired pizza. And there's leftover pizza and garlic bread to consume this evening. In fact, there's probably enough for me to get 3 meals out of it. But I'll freeze a couple of pieces and they can go in my lunchbox to work. Down the track, I'll be rummaging in my freezer. I'll be like, oh, bonus pizza for lunch. Woo-hoo. Neither did I, Ruth. I didn't realise vegans can't read. I know they can't run because they don't have any fucking energy, but I didn't know they couldn't read. Serendipity is one of the loveliest offerings from you, Joey and Wilson, in the chat today. There's been some lovely moments. Ozzy Ellis and your name change, nice work. Armchair Detective M15 and your name change, nice work. Serendipity B is still blind and eats meat. Go figure. Yeah. Buying those imposter nuggets, the real chicken variety, it's probably the best day in the life. That vegan secretly behind doors was like, oh my God, I forgot how good chicken nuggets are. Yum, yum, yum. But I can't let anyone know. But I will get on my keyboard and blast Coles and accuse them of not having any empathy and not wanting to save the planet because I stupidly, I don't think she even bought them. I think she just cracked the shits because they were in the same space. Because God forbid a chicken nugget escapes a box and jumps into the plant-based nugget box. Lord, hello, lovable Rogue 2. Anagram, very eccentric knob. I reckon we're doing all, but yeah, that vegan lady, gee, she's as humorous as half of the people on 3/4 of the people on YouTube. Why do people lose their sense of humour? Why did YouTube turn people into angry, humorless twat muffins? What happened? It's actually encouraging me to be sillier and stupider. There's going to be a lot of recorder playing coming up. Brace yourselves, groovers. No, there's a little bandicoot just on the side of the road that freaks me out. Just don't come on the road, little bandicoot. Don't get squashed. Oh yeah, bring back the cooters. I get triggered remembering how some of the best fun I ever had on YouTube was destroyed while I was dancing my ass off at Blues Fest in Byron Bay. Our identities were exposed, and the joy of being a secret cooter was over. And as far as creative writing goes, that was one of the highlights of my creative writing career. I was having the best time being a cooter until other people decided to become cooters, and some of them were mean cooters, the OG cooters. So sweet. No, crying over YouTube should never happen. Look, I'm not going to lie, it fucked me up at the start. I went through a pretty hellish experience very early on in my YouTube life, and it did bother me and affected my anxiety and all sorts of shit. But I'm seriously at a point now, I don't give a fuck. Because you just see so much paranoia from other creators, and everything is, like I said earlier, is an absolute reaction. Like, they go to the most extreme. Anything that happens, they have to just bring out the big guns and be really super butthurt. And, hey, Scout Inquirer, you've changed your name. You've got, I can just see the end of a comment about a comedy detective audiobook. Vegetarian got blackmailed for eating a steak. Nice. A little bit different than that episode of Black Mirror where a Prime Minister got blackmailed for having sex with a pig. But let's not go there. That upsets people for some reason. So many people hated that first episode of Black Mirror, and yet I loved it because I'm not into pig fucking. I loved it because that could happen. And that was the freaky thing about it. That shit could happen. When you've got to make a choice between letting some random asshole murder your wife or shag a pig, it's a bit of a dilemma. Can't stand your wife. But there's another example of, a really confronting story that essentially was commentary on the way the world is heading and things that could happen. And people chose, rather than looking at it and going, oh my God, that is the way the world is heading, this could happen, chose to be offended about it. Offended by it. Like that's the go-to reaction. The reaction was more disturbing in many respects than the actual episode. It just showed how many people are so self-centered that if they're offended by something, serendipity, Serenity Bee. I love the name Serenity Bee. Don't change it. But you will be occasionally referred to as Serengeti. I keep thinking of the Serengeti Desert for eyebrows. Oh. All right, we're going to have a quick sit down at the surf for a bit of a regroup, and I can read a bit of chat before I head home and feed little Miss Sunnybum, who's just the cutest thing ever. She's insane. In fact, I took a really cute photo of her. I'll put it on my community post page. What's the other thing I've got to put on there? Oh, the link to that video with Bev in it. Not much surf, quite flat actually, but no absence of parking spaces to choose from. Just me in that little pink car. Here we go, Groovers. Oh, someone left their buckets and gumboots on the beach. Just to the left of the screen, you'll see a little yellow thing. That's the bucket. There's a little pile of, hey, oh, Joshy's first day back at school. Thanks for coming in, gorgeous. You were messaging me while I was live, and right around the time Joey asked where you were, and I was like, well, she's massaging. Oh, you've gone back to Tori's 800th subscriber. No, we only see the bush when I can't get a view of the oceans. Hey, Mandy Hall, how are you, gorgeous? But someone did say I've got a lot of wrenches, and I think I might have to revisit that. Should I go back to just deleting all wrenches and just the first 6 people to come in get them when I'm live from home? No, they're not litter outs. They just forgot them and somebody's put them in a neat little pile. So if they go, oh, fuck, we left the buckets and gumboots on the beach, they can come back and it's sitting there for them to claim it. Quite often on these posts, you'll find a towel or a beanie or a wetsuit, something that someone might have left behind. Bikini bottoms, all kinds of shit washes up too. If the other day there was one thong, not a G-string, but a flip-flop on one of them. Take yours, Joey. You like being grey. Can I do it while we're live? No, I can only put you in timeout or block you. Interesting. From StreamYard. That's interesting. You can block a mod from StreamYard? This I did not know. I wonder if it works. Serendipity. So Mel, why did you delete the video? It's funny as fuck. You can block each other here. I private it because we didn't make it to hurt feelings. We did it to laugh. Unprivate it. Unprivate it. There's so much horrible shit that happens on the YouTubes. If anyone got hurt by we didn't do anything nasty. If people can't laugh, then whatever. It wasn't motivated by hatred. The fact of the matter is Mel does insanely good impersonations that crack me up. And it was just a chance to let people see how fucking talented she is. I mean, fucking hell. You look at all the horrible stuff that has been said and done about Natasha, and she even came into the live and told us we love it. So I don't know if she's the one who got upset by it, but you said you loved it. How could you not? It was such a good impersonation. have talented you both. Yeah, I don't know about that. I certainly wasn't um, thinking my performance was worthy of an Oscar, but it was a bit of fun. I think put it back up, Mel Mel. Seriously, like who cares? There's, the YouTube world is so serious. People do something that's just meant to be fun. If there's people out there that are offended and butthurt, seriously, I've seen the worst things that have been said about Natasha Cooper, and I think it was a really perfect impersonation. And if she comes into chat and says she loves it, well, Tori, you nailed that super sleuth who says we support a crazy person. I didn't wait. Who's the crazy person we support, Mel Mel? See, this is what she does, right? She tries to alienate people. That's all the more reason we put it back up because there was no ill intent. Like Mel Mel even said during it, like she just likes doing. She's so fucking good at picking up people's idiosyncrasies and impersonating them. And it wasn't done with malice. The fact of the matter is, Natasha has a very distinct style and personality, and people love her for her. Like her subscribers love her for her facial expressions and laugh. So I say it goes back up because it wasn't intended to be nasty. And if people have lost their sense of humour, I can't find it for you. Thank you, Scout. Yeah, check out the shitty. God, I haven't done any cooking for ages. I better get back onto that. She's trying it right. She's trying right now by wanting you and Mel Mel on her panel. Huh? What? Well, I mean, I haven't been. I've been at work all day. I haven't checked any emails or messages, but I haven't been approached to be on any friggin' panel. Lindley, huh? Some banana lady pulls me the fuck out. The next breath, they should both be on her panel. Oh, so have we been embroiled in some dramas? One of her subs even commented that they must have loved the video because we nailed them. Oh, I thought it was about two other creators like Dolly and who are Dolly and Laurel? I won't be going on her panel. That would be clout chasing. What the fuck is clout chasing? I don't even know what there's so many terms they use that I'm like cancel culture. Every time I hear someone say it, I've got to Google it to remind myself what the fuck it is. Um, what's who's the crazy person we follow? I mean, I used to follow some crazy fuckers on YouTube. And I used to follow people on YouTube who are now crazy, for sure. Who's the crazy person? Thank you, Ruth. Someone some lady who did videos about Shanann shared our videos, so now we're in cahoots with that person. You're talking, no, 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 no. No. I know exactly who you're talking. No, nope. But is she not feuding with Natasha? So yeah, it's a use us as ammunition. There's better ammo out there. I mean, we weren't nasty. There's so many people that have done horrible things. Fight with humour, though. I have always thought that was a good way to go, but I don't think that was the intent. I don't know. But is that the crazy person that we follow? Because we don't. Well, I don't. And Mel Mel, whose channel I've never been to. Ask Robbie. Robbie's the crazy lady we support. I haven't been on Robbie's channel forever either. Right now, you're being screenshotted by a fucked up mod. Hi, fucked up mod. I hope you like the scenery. Coming live from a beach far, far away in the future. Get a screenshot. Get a screenshot of the little pile of buckets and the gumboots just over there that somebody left at the beach. I'm sorry, but yeah, I don't care. We didn't do it to start a war. We just had some fun. Get over it. I'm not going to lose sleep over this shit. Linley. Why do you keep saying Linley? Linley, my Linley? Too much drama on YouTube just lately. Where's the fun gone? Mama makes me laugh. Exactly, Manny Hall. And we just had some fun. We could have been really, really nasty, but we weren't because we didn't want to be nasty. We just wanted to have some fun. Mel Mel's impersonation is so spot on. And the fact that Natasha came into our chat and said she loved it, well, if she's gone live today saying she did, and I'm sad to hear that because was she not upset that newstubers didn't represent her accurately? You couldn't get closer to a match with Mel Mel's effort than at all. Like, nobody has got that close. And she looked pretty as fuck too, I've got to say. Scout, you're so cute in the middle of all of me trying to catch up with all of this stuff. Mary Marlowe? Robbie was in her chat saying you and I for years have been using big channels to get big on YouTube, but we failed. What, Robbie? Yeah, right. Big channels? Nope. I know exactly how to get big on YouTube. You go live and get angry and rant about somebody. I've seen it happen on my own channel and I didn't even rant. But because I addressed a specific thing that was happening on YouTube and addressed it to a particular creator, my subs went up like 60 people. I learned a long time ago how you can make a channel grow very quickly. If I'd wanted to make my channel massive, I have known a long time how to do it. It's not that fucking hard. Jeez, I was Robbie's original mod. How the turntables. CK, Critical K. No, I'm really having trouble keeping up with you, Groovers. Look, this part of YouTube's gone to shit, yeah, but there's other bits. Natasha's a true crime channel, and we just did a little parody the other night, but apparently it's upset the tubes. Oh well. God forbid we doesn't hang on a sec. Wait a minute. Doesn't Natasha have a parody show? Doesn't she have a whole panel of people parodying people? Well, we do. We've got a really cute community that we love to bits, and Joey was having a shit time. Mel and I had already thought about doing this parody just for the hell of it because we were like, fuck it, we watch YouTube creators and clip channels and we learn about all these different personalities. We would never do a parody of somebody who was as boring as a piece of cardboard, and then Joey had a tough time, so we decided to postpone it because we thought it might have been a bit insensitive. And so we did it the next day. Well, we didn't hashtag them either on this occasion. So, it was just to give you guys a chuckle because there's characters all over. I mean, it's like the little videos I did of, I only ended up doing two, but I wanted to showcase characters. But again, for some reason, if people aren't on your side on YouTube, they make out whatever you do to be the most sinister thing imaginable. Like you become the worst person. But if you did something about them and it was funny, they'd love you to bits. You were the drunk. Oh, wait a minute. You said earlier, "Where's Mel Mel the drunk?" And I said, "Mel Mel doesn't drink." Is that were we accused of being drunk, Joey? That's hilarious. Mel Mel, don't be over it. We had fun. That was one of the funnest times I've had with you. Watching you doing that was the best. Like, seriously. I think you should have had super chats on. You would have deserved every cent you got for that because I have never seen anyone do a parody on YouTube before as accurate and as funny as yours. It was so ridiculously good. You deserved any cent you got for that. I personally think getting super chats for you doing that is way cooler than people getting super chats when they're covering true crime. Just saying. Someone said that in their side chat. I haven't had a drink. Yeah, that's what I said. You don't drink. And they obviously don't know about my burnout and the fact that I don't drink either, or very rarely. If I have one drink, I end up with a hangover for like a week. So I've got to be incredibly particular. And yes, I did have a glass of champagne at a wake recently. Fucking sue me. Yeah, put it back up, Mel. Mel, seriously, I don't like ever doing anything on YouTube that makes people feel like they've won. Yeah, put it back up, man. It's got to be out there anyway. Surely it's been clipped somewhere. Although I don't know how that do some tags. Vegan wine. I'm not gonna vegan wine. Isn't wine vegan anyway? Like the good shit's pretty much grapes, right? I can't drink any wines with preservatives in it anyway. So look, Mel Mel, look at everyone begging you to put it back up. Put it back up. I care not if they got butt hurt by it. Like seriously, some people just have to lighten the fuck up. I would be flattered if somebody did a parody of me and it was a really good one. Holy shit. It's just making me want to do parodies of everyone. Well, Mel Mel and I actually have talked about that. Because, I mean, the first one we do doesn't mean we're in some sort of hate mob. I can put it on here. Yeah, I can do that. Can I download it and then upload it to me? I put the link to it in my community post. I guess it's not there now because you. Oh, look, everyone's begging you. Oh, findings settle the grape dust and they're made from Fidgis. Yeah, so I'll check it on mine. I didn't give a flying flip. I've been on YouTube for over 3 years now, and it doesn't take long to work out how to make your channel grow. But all I've ever wanted to do, and Mel Mel too, is make people laugh and have a bit of fun on YouTube. I've got a pretty serious job. It's a nice outlet for me. I'm not that invested. But the drunk comment, that's hilarious. God forbid two people who don't drink crack each other up doing a pretty average mine parody of someone and the other person doing a genius one. What's the rules about people playing your whole live stream? Do they stop and do commentary? Because if they do, that's fair use. But I personally wouldn't be too fussed about it. I mean, I doubt they just played it in its entirety. I'm sure there would have been some commentary, but even if there wasn't, I don't want to go down the Striker Palooza road. Mind you, someone will probably strike my channel if I upload it, but whatever. We just need to do another parody really soon of another channel that's in a completely different corner of the YouTubes that some of our subscribers have stumbled across. It just, what saddens me? There's so many people that came into the YouTube world and used to be funny and fun that have just become so serious. Oh, I don't think Melma. Well, I hope you weren't thinking of Straken. I agree, Mandy. It was just a bit of fun. And even if it's a piss weak one, like, laugh at how bad it is, you know? Ugh. God, gone are the days where people would be flattered. Maybe she's copying it from a few too many angles at the moment. I don't know. But she did come into our chat and say she loved it. So it's unfortunate because she could have come in and said, this is really bad. And I would have gone, you sure is. Not me, not Mel Mel, though, but me, yep, pretty average. Hey, Casper, is that low tide? Yes, it is, mate. Low tide. The vote's in, Mel Mel. Put it back up. Oh, peer group pressure, Mel Mel. Mm. Well, look, let's try and think of some people that we adore on YouTube to parody them too, so people can see that we're. I mean, I don't. And Mel Mel either. Like, neither of us have overly strong feelings about most people on YouTube. Like, if we find someone that makes us laugh, we'll tell each other about it. No, I haven't found Dirty Laundry. Did he get found today? Oh, thanks, Joey. Thank you, Scout, too. Look, we're trying to bring the comedy back, even if it's bad comedy. But I don't care what people. I mean, it's disappointing that people who are not exactly pleasant on YouTube right now are having a go at us. Like, project much? But it's not surprising. I mean, Mel Mel and I, even when we were doing it, she's like, the demise of my channel. Like, we anticipated adverse reactions, but it's a bit surprising that Natasha's not happy with us when she actually came in while we were live and said, I love it. Well, changing your mind is a woman's prerogative. God forbid. Can't get upset about that. It's just inspiring me to do more, especially with Melmo because she's so friggin' good at it. So we're taking suggestions for the next 2 minutes before I log off because I want to go and feed my little fluff ball. She gets so upset when I go to work. She gets so excited when I get home. I've ended up watching some really weird shit on Netflix because she likes to have a bit of a head massage session upon my return from home. From work, I mean. All right. Drop in chat. Who are some of the people you'd like us to parody? Because I'm inspired now to do one every fucking day if I have to show that. Fuck, I mean, she was number one. She was our first. She's always going to be Serendipity B. The Squid Game? Oh, no, but I weirdly started playing that the other night by accident. Like, how Netflix now says it offers you suggestions? It just started playing, and it was when my friend Laura stayed, and we were like, so we're watching the Squid Game, and we're about 3 minutes in, and we went, no, we're definitely not watching it. Oh, Scout, isn't she awesome? I was thinking of putting one of those new Insta photos over on my community page just so everyone can see her blonde, curly beach hair belly because there's nothing cuter. Oh, you got in 15 minutes in. People get butthurt about others using their own words in videos. Mel Mel, do a parody of Tori. I thought about that the other night, actually, after Mel Mel and I finished. I was like, we could do a parody of each other. But we're accused of being sisters all the time, so There wouldn't have to be a lot of change, although I'd have to suddenly develop advanced acting skills to do Mel. Do MGL. That was one that we thought of doing. But if we did MGL, I'd want to do like MGL when I first came to the YouTubes. Because fuck, she was great train wreck viewing back in the day, but I haven't watched her forever. I know she's in the middle of some kind of YouTube drama right now. No, I need suggestions for some parodies for Mel and I to contemplate. Not no more Netflix stuff. I'm seriously logging off in 2 minutes. Oh, we will do each other one day, but I think we need to create a library of other ones first. Yeah, we tossed around. We thought about doing MGL and Laura. But there's so many people that were characters of YouTube back in the day that now have just lost their way. It'd be vintage parodies. Mel refuses to do me. Oh, MRB is off the table. Oh, yeah. Well, I could do her. We did say there are some that we'd put together, like, people that go solo most of the time. So, like, you could do Vinny G and I could do MRB or Brian or you'd rather quit on alone. Oh, come on. Come on. I'm inspired. I want to do more. Because I think it's kind of funny that people can't even just lighten the fuck up and have a chuckle. But I think you have to be on a certain side if you do something like, how the clip channels, some of them are just so much on one side. And then the creators that they cover and they're going, oh my God, I love that person. And it's like, love the people that you don't know or that are on the other side that can do something. And I mean, Mel and I aren't on any side. We're lone wolfies. Most Australians, oh no, not most, but a heap of Australian comedians, a heap of Australian creators are just doing their own thing. I can help you with the makeups. Oh shit, Casper's back in snap lockdown. Holy shit. All right, I gotta go. I've got a little animal to feed and I've got to start writing some makeup tips for Mel. Um, she is funny as fuck, Joey. The trick to having fun on YouTube is to just not take anything personally unless it comes from somebody on YouTube who you've bonded with and consider a friend off YouTube. And if something happens off YouTube and you take it personally, well, you'll just talk it out like friends do, right? But all the other stuff, I mean, a bald head thing, I need more props. Oh, okay. Well, let's start thinking up some and let's start finding some props for you. Bald head's easy to do if you've got a pair of new tights floating around. See you, Joey. Elbow cough, elbow cough, elbow cough. It's an elbow cough, man. Oh, thank you. I don't think I'm funny as fuck. Parodies are not my forte, but I actually think this week comedy is hilarious and I love watching people doing really bad shit. But it becomes funny because it's so bad. That's the camp I'm from. Yeah, for Lynette's rogue boobies, there you go. Just chuck that on. I mean, in a way, the more piss week the costumes just adds to it. But I was going to go and feed my cat, but now this truck has rocked up. There's a big ute with a big trailer thing behind it, just sitting in the middle of the road. You're right there, dude. I'll do a parody of him. Oh, and we're going to do people beyond the communities where we all first met and hung out together too. Like, there's so many people, there's so many characters of the tubes worthy of some funs. But until next time, don't take life seriously, at least not on YouTube. And if you can avoid it, taking it too seriously in your real life, do it. Obviously, people in lockdown, people that are unwell at the moment, there's plenty of situations where taking things seriously probably is a good thing, but laugh at yourselves, groovers. Mandy Hall, I think that your request can be attended to, and just fun generally. There's so many funny things out on the YouTube that we can watch and react to and discuss. But yeah, God forbid anybody on YouTube just wants to have fun and a bit of a laugh. Look within, find a reason to smile. Life's too short to take things seriously, everything seriously. Like, seriously. All right, the truck has moved. There's a cat at my house who's probably very hungry. I love you, Groovers. I love our community, and I'm going to go home and make a herbal tea so I can get drunk. Until next time, stay groovy, everybody. And remember, don't get scammed.